Good evening, students. In today's class, let us see about the gauges and types of gauges. The first of all, what is a gauge? Gauge is a checking tool or inspection tool. It is used for checking the high and low limit of a product. That means in mass production, when the work is continuously going on the machine, for checking the random checking of the piece, if a instrument is used, it takes long time to check the size, whether it is coming within the given size and within the stipulated size, in including tolerance. So it takes long time. And so instead of that, if a tool is there, tool is such a precision tool is there, inspection tool is there, with that tool can be checked the higher limit and lower limit, and whether the job is coming, whether the product or whether the job is coming within that limit, easily we can check, and such things of inspection tool is called a gauge. So there are various types of gauges available. So let us see one by one. Gauge is an inspection tool used to check a product dimension with the reference to its maximum and minimum acceptable limits. It is generally used to segregate acceptable and non-acceptable products in mass production without the exact dimension. It is made of tool steel and is heat treated. So these gauges are made out of tool steel. Good quality steel is used and heat treated, hardened and tempered, and these are made to correct size. These are used for checking the product for the acceptable limits, means including that tolerance, whether the job is coming or lying between that maximum minimum limit. So these limits can be checked with these gauges. So and by that the jobs can be segregated, whether it is acceptable job or rejected job, like that job can be separated. Advantages of gauging: faster checking of the product is within the specified limit. Within few seconds or with a short time, the job can be checked whether it is coming within the limit. Less dependence on operator skill and getting affected by operator judgment. So operator skill is negligible. The non-technical person also can check with this gauges the size of the component. Gauges are economical when compared to measuring instruments. So gauges are very economical because some special dimensions are given, very close tolerance are given in the job. So such instrument for such measurement should be checked only with the special instruments. Those special instruments are very expensive. So in that case, these gauges are used, and checking that once the gauges are manufactured, so such gauges can be used for checking the size, so that the costly instruments are eliminated. So that is why the gauges are very economical. Instrument used for gauging. So some of the names of the gauges are given here: snap and ring gauge, combined gauge, plug gauge, screw pitch gauge, template gauge, and form gauge, and taper gauge. So the first were types of cylindrical plug gauges: double and a plug gauge. This double and a plug gauge means a gauge having one to two ends. One end is a go end, other one is no go end. So one end is maximum permissible dimension, and no go end is a minimum permissible dimension in the gauge. So these are the gauges are used for either the job is or the size of the hole is maximum size and minimum size. Next, progressive plug gauge. Plain cylindrical gauges are used for checking the inside diameter of a straight hole. The go gauge checks the lower limit of the hole, and the no go gauge checks the upper limit. The plugs are ground and lapped. So in double and plug gauge, one is go end, another one no go end. One is the one end shows the maximum permissible dimension, and the other end shows the minimum permissible dimension. So this is a double-ended plug gauge. If a progressive plug gauge, single end is there, and go and no go end both are coming in the same end. So first the go end enters and then the no go enters. In case the no go enters into the hole, so that means the hole is bigger than the size. Plain ring gauge. So plain ring gauges are used to check the outside dimension diameter of pieces. Separate gauges are used for checking go and no go sizes. A no go gauge is identified by an annular groove on the knurled surface. So The previous one, double-ended plug gauge and the progress plug gauge, these are used for checking the internal diameter of the hole. The ring gauge is used for checking the outside diameter of the shaft to the correct size, whether it is a go size or whether it is no go size. So these are available in two numbers. One is go and other one is no go. No go gauge is always identified by an annular ring. A ring is cut on the outside diameter of the gauge, and this shows that this is the identification mark for no go gauge. So these are used for checking the outside diameter of the shaft to correct given tolerance, go end and no go end. If the go end goes, the diameter is exact, the shaft diameter is correct. If no go end enters, that means the shaft diameter is smaller than the given size. Taper plug gauge. These gauges made with standard or special tapers are used to check the size of the hole and the accuracy of the taper. The gauge must slide into the hole for a prescribed depth and fit perfectly. An incorrect taper is evidenced by a wobble between the plug gauge and the hole. So taper plug gauge means a gauge having a taper for checking the taper of the hole. So a standard taper is provided on the gauge. So these gauges are used if a female hole is a tapered female hole is there. So this hole size and also the angle of the taper can be checked with a single gauge. So in that gauge there is a wobble mark is provided. If this wobble mark or a cut is provided, if this cut enter into the hole, that means the hole is out of size, means bigger than the size. So it should enter just up to the mark, but the mark should not enter into the hole. So that's why this is a very easily we can check the taper hole of the job. Very easily we can check with by inserting this gauge up to the mark. If the gauge enters where the cut is given, that means the hole is acceptable. If the gauge enters a little further, that means mark also, the cut also enters into the hole, that means the hole is bigger than the given size. Taper ring gauge. They are used to check both the accuracy and the outside diameter of a taper. Ring gauges often have scribed lines for a step ground on the small end to indicate the go and no go dimensions. So similarly, the taper ring gauges are available for checking the outside taper and diameter of the shaft. Outside taper, diameter of the shaft. So these gauges are provided with the go and no go principle. So ring gauge often have scribed lines on a step ground on the small end to indicate the go and no go dimensions. So here the go end is there, no go end is there. If in that also no gauge cut is provided, if this cut slit or cut is provided, if this cut passes on the shaft, that means the shaft cross the cut, that means the shaft is below size. That means the shaft of the size is smaller than the given size. So the shaft should enter just up to the mark of the ring gauge. So that shows the taper ring gauge. So that shows the shaft is perfect. In case the shaft crosses that cut, that means the shaft is below size. Only when it is smaller, then only it will cross the mark position. Thread plug gauge. Internal threads are checked with the thread plug gauges of go and no go variety, which employ the same principle of other cylindrical plug gauge. So thread plug gauges are available. Here also double-ended thread plug gauge. One end is go and other one is no go end. Only the go end should enter into the female thread. A no go should not enter. When the no go end enters, when the size of the threads are bigger or depth of the thread is given more for internal threads, that only the no go gauge enters. Thread ring gauge. These gauges are used to check the accuracy of an external thread. They have a threaded hole in the center with the 3 radial slots and a set screw to permit a small adjustment. So thread ring gauge, so these are also available with set. One is go gauge and other one is no go gauge. So this gauge only go gauge enter, and this gauge is used for checking the external threads. So when the external threads are perfect, only go gauge will enter. It will drive on the job. no-go gauge will not enter. When the external thread size is smaller, maybe depth of cut or diameter of the shaft is diameter of the thread is smaller, that time only the no-go gauge enters. So that means the thread size is out of the given size. Snap gauges. Snap gauges are a quick means of checking diameters and threads to within certain limits by comparing the part size to the present dimension of the snap gauge. Snap gauges are generally C-shaped and are adjustable to the maximum minimum limits of the part being checked. When in use, the work should slide into the go gauge but not into the no-go gauging end. The snap gauge is a flat sheet type of gauge having a same principle, go and no-go principle. One end is go principle and the other is no-go principle. So when the gauge go enters, that means the size of the or thickness or the job thickness is correct. If the no-go enters, that means the job thickness is smaller than the given size. So in this in the snap gauges, there are another type of snap gauges are there with the detachable anvils. We can fix the different size of anvils and for adjusting the size. So that type of adjustable snap gauges are also available. So this is about the gauges, different types of gauges, the purpose of the gauge. Some of the type of gauges are some of the plug gauge, ring gauge, taper plug gauge, taper ring gauge, thread plug gauge, snap gauge, etc. The next lesson is slip gauges. Slip gauges are a set of a number of steel blocks, hardened steel blocks, hardened and tempered, and these are finished very close tolerance. That means very accurate dimensions are maintained, and these surfaces are lapped to mirror finish. So these are available in a box having number of steel gauges, and these are called slip gauges. Application of slip gauges, these are used for building up a particular size, to build up a particular size, or for marking particular size to be marked, or even there a gap is to be measured, very accurately. So for this purpose, and there are many uses, for only few uses are told. So there are many uses in the daily life in the industry. So these are called slip gauges. Slip gauges are gauge blocks and are standard for precision length measurement. These are made in sets and consist of a number of hardened blocks made of high grade steel with low thermal expansion. They are hardened throughout and heated further for stabilization. The two opposite measuring faces of each block are lapped flat and parallel to a definite size with an extremely close tolerance. So slip gauges are available in a box with a number of gauges. These are in a set. So these are made from a good quality, mostly chrome vanadium steel, a good quality and stable steel. Even there is a 0% thermal expansion. When there is a heat is there, when the temperature changes, atmospheric temperature changes also, these gauges will not expand or contract. That means the size of the gauge is kept constant, means it is having a 0% thermal expansion. So such type of steel is used. These are hardened and tempered and lap finished, and the opposite sides are very accurately finished, and the particular size is maintained with the close tolerance. So these are called slip gauges. These slip gauges are available in various sets with different numbers. A particular size can be built up by ringing individual slip gauges together. So there is a method of building up a size, a particular size, by selecting the slip gauges from the box. Size is stamped on each slip gauge. By selecting the slip gauges, a particular size can be built up by ringing method. So the method is explained in the textbook. Ringing is the act of joining the slip gauges together while building up the size. Some sets of slip gauges contain protector slips of some standard thickness made from high wear resistant steel for tungsten carbide. These are used for protecting the exposed faces to the slip gauge pack from damage. So some slip gauges having a protector slip to protect the slip gauge from any damage. So protective slip is provided covering the both the opposite sides of the slip gauges to protect from the atmosphere and from any damage, because these are very very accurate and very closely finished to the tolerance, and a good quality finish is also maintained on these slip gauges. So that's why care must be taken for protecting these slip gauges, and these are very very expensive. Standard slip gauges with the standard company, the slip gauge sets are very very expensive. Grades: slip gauges are available in 4 grades: grade 0 accuracy, grade 0 accuracy, grade 1 and grade 2 accuracy. So grade 2 accuracy. So first one is grade 0 accuracy. It is a calibration grade used as a standard for reference to test all the other grades. So 0 accuracy grade is not used for other than calibration purpose. That means the gauge slip gauges are used for calibrating the periodically calibrating the slip gauges. These grade 0 grade gauges are used because this is a very very important grade, and it is used not for general purpose. It is used for checking the, or it is used for calibration or calibrating the other sets, other slip gauge sets. These gauges are used. Grade 0 accuracy. It is an inspection grade meant for inspection purpose. So after the job is manufactured, when inspection is required, so that time 0 accuracy grade is used. So this is meant only for inspection purpose. After completion of the job, for checking the size of the job or for certain users, this set is used. Grade 1 accuracy, workshop grade for precision tool room application. So grade 1 accuracy is for use for tool room, where high precision jobs are prepared or manufactured. So in such cases, this tool room grade is used. So tool room grade means where very accurately finished jobs are required, or where the manufacture or the jobs are done. In such cases, in such area only, these grades are used for checking the accuracy of the jobs. And grade 2 accuracy, it is for general workshop, or generally in the workshop, if any for checking is required, so that time grade 2 accuracy slip gauges sets are used. So that means that there are four types of slip gauges, 4 sets of four grades of slip gauges: grade 0, grade 0, grade 1 and grade 2. So grade 0 is used for calibration of other sets, other grades 0 and grade 1 and grade 2 for calibration purpose. Grade 0 accuracy set is used, and grade 0 set is used for the inspection purpose. After completion of the job, if any inspection is required for checking the component to the correct size, this grade slip gauge is used. And grade 1 slip gauge is used for in the tool room. In the tool room, during the manufacturing process of the component, for checking the size and all, this is used. And grade 2 accuracy slip gauge is used for general purpose, general workshop is used. BS recommends 3 grades of slip gauges are recommended as per Indian standard: grade 0, grade 1 and grade 2. Care and maintenance points to be remembered while using slip gauges. So while using these slip gauges, care and maintenance are very very important, because since it is very accurate instrument, measuring instrument, very accurately finished, if any damage or if any dust or anything enters into the set, so that will spoil the gauges, not only the gauge on which we are using, so dimension also will be different. So that's why the care and maintenance should be very very important. Use a minimum number of blocks as far as possible while building up a particular dimension. So it is an important point, while building up the size, certain size, minimum try to build up the size with the number of slip gauges, minimum number of slip gauges, not selecting many number of slip gauges and building up the size. So not like that, minimum number, by calculating the size, the minimum number, that size should be built up. While building the slip gauges, start ringing the largest slip gauge and finish with smallest. That means when number of slip gauges are used for building up size, the thickest slip, the biggest slip gauges should be used first, and after that one by one, when the thickness is reduced, and the last one, thinnest one, should be built up in the last. While holding the slip gauge, do not touch the lapped surface. The measuring surface is there. It is a very very important surface, and a good finish is done. So instead of touching that surface, so other places we can use for holding the slip gauges. Other places can be used for holding the slip gauges, because the measuring surface is a very important surface. So if we touch, what happens, our sweat, our finger or our hand sweat may touch to that, and there are chances of rusting the slip gauges. If available, use protector slips on exposed faces. After use, clean the slip with carbon tetrachloride and apply petroleum jelly for protection against rust. So if available, if a protector slip is available, so that slip should be used for holding the slip gauge set or the build-up set, because when it is exposed portion, the measuring faces, if you touch with our fingers, there are chances of rusting the surface of the slip gauge. That's why protector slip is better. And after use, it should be cleaned with a carbon tetrachloride. Carbon tetrachloride is a spirit which removes the sweat, oil and all from the slip gauges. If any moisture is there or sweat is, our hand sweat is there, so that will remove. And after cleaning with the carbon tetrachloride, petroleum jelly is applied. So this petroleum jelly is a lubricant which will protect the slip gauges from rusting. Before use, remove petroleum jelly with the carbon tetrachloride. Use Chalmers leather to wipe the surface gauge. So similarly, before using the slip gauges, first you have to remove that petroleum jelly of the slip gauge by cleaning with the carbon tetrachloride, and after that cleaning with carbon tetrachloride, a leather cloth is there, Chalmers leather. With that we have to wipe the slip gauges for removing the completely carbon tetrachloride spirit. Next, in the textbook, sets of slip gauges are given there. So 112 piece set, 103 piece set, 46 piece set. The next lesson is selection and determination of slip gauges for different sizes. For determining a particular size, for building up a particular size, a certain number of slip gauges should be selected according to the dimensions required. So this is depend upon the minimum number of slip gauges you have to, as it is explained earlier. So for determining a particular size, in most cases, a number of slip gauges are to be selected and stacked one over the other by ringing the slip gauges. While selecting slip gauges for a particular size using the available sets of slip gauges, first consider the last digit of the size to be built up. Then consider the last or the last two digits of the subsequent value and continue to select the pieces until the required size is available. So while selecting the slip gauges for building up a particular size, so by ringing method we have to build up the size by ringing method. So in that case, the thickest gauge first you have to select, and the thinnest gauge we have to ring up the last. While calculating purpose, when the size is given, particular size is given, and the set of the slip gauges is given, for the calculation purpose, for selecting the gauge, first of all, after the decimal point, the last digit we have to cancel by selecting the particular number of slip gauge. After that, after the decimal, 2 digits, and then 1 digit, and then the last the full size of the slip gauges we have to select as per the calculation, and then we have to build up the size. That means while calculating, we should get the thinnest slip gauge first, and thickest one is the largest one is the last. But while building up, the largest one should be built up first. You have to use first, and over that one by one we have to build up the slip gauges by ringing method, and the last one, thinnest one, you have to build up with the last. So that is about the slip gauges, types of the purpose of the slip gauges, and calculating the method of slip gauges, and further connected lessons are there. So these lessons we will see in the next class. Thank you, students.